really a fantastic honor. It's a big challenge. There's no doubt about it. I learned a lot from Tony Hand, and am looking forward to putting those lessons to good use, and hopefully help take the program back to where we want it to be and above and beyond that.
What do you think are the main obstacles, Doug, to get the team back, the national side, back to where it belongs, back up a division?
Well, I think first and foremost, national team programs can't just be looked at to improve from the top down. They really need to be looked at from the bottom up. This is going to be a comprehensive approach. One of the things that we talked a lot about in the interview process was how Switzerland has gone from a country that was ranked 17th in the world to being second place last year in the World Championships. How Norway went from 22nd in the world to being an automatic qualifying bid for the Olympics. We talked about how Japan and Korea have developed their programs, and it's really about improving the skill set, coaches teaching coaches, trying to improve the youth program as well as the national program, and relying on the fact that if we can continue to develop and continue to invest in the younger players while maintaining and developing a high standard at the national team level, we're going to have some success. But in the short term, there's still a lot of work to be done at the top level, but I think next year we're going to have to go in with the specific goal of getting back into Division 1A.
Doug, we both saw it firsthand. I mean, I was lucky enough to be with you guys in Latvia and then again in Hungary. Do you think one of the things that you're going to bring in, and you touched on it there, you learned a lot from Tony, but I think you also know that maybe there needs to be a little bit more lead-in time and a little bit more preparation. Is that something you sort of brought up in the interview process?
Well, of course. I think that one of the things that tied our hands a little bit last year, going into the whole process, was we didn't have as much preparation as everybody else, but we're not going to have that change overnight. The Elite League is obviously a business of their own, same with the EPL. We need to make sure that we continue to develop the players, not just in the week beforehand, but getting some touches with them, getting some time with them in the international break in the fall. Maybe have some camps in the summer, no different than Hockey Canada. Hockey Canada and Team USA preparing for the Olympics in Sochi in 2014. Well, they're bringing their guys together in August. Well, of course, a lot of the things that they're going to see there are can different players play, the off wing? How does this player fit into a role on the power play? Things that you really can test out in August that you can't test out in April at the World Championships. And so that was some of the things that we really talked about, trying to expand the scope of what it means to be a national team player and what the commitment is to be on the team.
Also, Doug, I mean, we saw great performances at both the Worlds and the Olympic qualifiers. I mean, a guy like Stephen Murphy is so important in Budapest, but we also saw other guys step up in Latvia. Are you going to be kind of pushing the boat out? I mean, I know some of the guys like Ashley Tate, guys almost on like 100 appearances for GB. Is it time to start bringing some younger guys in and maybe looking to change the culture around who makes the team and how easy it is to make the team, or competitive-wise?
Well, you obviously want to expand the talent pool, and if that means you have dual nationals, you have to look at dual nationals. If that means that there's younger players, you have to look at younger players. But let's use Jonathan Weaver as an example. Jonathan Weaver is one of our top defensemen the whole tournament. He was absolutely fantastic in Japan. You're not going to get rid of Jonathan Weaver just because he's older. It's the players who are performing that you want to keep, and maybe Jonathan Weaver has even a greater value to the club because of the fact that he has that international experience, because he knows what it takes to win at an international level. And so therefore, a young player coming up will be looking up to Jonathan Weaver. Maybe it's a player in the middle who isn't performing, that thinks that they're going to be there all the time because they're young. They might be the ones who wind up on the outside looking in. So just because somebody is older, doesn't mean that they shouldn't be on the team. It's the players that are producing, it's the players who buy into the system that are going to make the team, regardless of age.
Absolutely. Let's just touch on quick, Doug. I mean, who are the key guys that obviously, I mean, I know how close you are with Stephen Murphy. There's some seriously talented players there. Who are the guys that you're looking to sort of build the national side around?
Well, first and foremost, Stephen Murphy is the most important person on the national team. Any way you cut it, he's absolutely vital to our success. You look at the line of Peacock, Dowd, and Shields. When that line clicked at the 2012 World Championships, they were the best line in the tournament. Those three players have a skill set that's absolutely fantastic. That was replicated again in Japan. I thought Craig Peacock was the best overall player there. We need those players to produce, and we need those players to play at a high level. But players that we really need to take that next step, we need David Clark to continue to produce the way that he did a couple of years ago. You need Lackowitz to start to emerge as a player that can produce offensively. He's obviously killed penalties. He's got the speed and the skill set for that style of hockey, but he needs to obviously develop. Of course, when you have Ben O'Connor in the fold and not in Kazakhstan, it really helps you because he's just such a talent. He works extremely hard. He skates well. He's in great shape. He obviously sees the ice and anticipates. There is a young nucleus on the D with, obviously you've got Davy Phillips as well, who's a big, strong, skates well, former American League defenseman. So the players, there is a young crop of that 23, 24-year-old guys that can really take this group forward. But again, it's going to be the players who buy in. It's going to be the guys who want to be there, are going to be committed professionals, and probably most importantly, more so than anything, it is an absolute honor to play for your country. People in Sweden, Russia, the United States, Canada would give their right arm to be on the national team. And just because it's an honor to play for their country. And I think that that's the most important thing for this group of players, to feel that level of pride and to have that association with the London Olympics, with the emotion that came from Andy Murray winning winning Wimbledon. You want that level of emotion. You want that pride for your country, and I think that that's something that's special.
Well, Doug, as someone who is fortunate enough to be at both the Riga qualifiers and the World Championships with you guys, I know how professional you are and how much of a hockey buff you are. I remember you and I standing and watching France, Latvia, and we were going through some coaching philosophies and principles because the winner of that game was going to go to Sochi. So, look, all the best, and hopefully we get the program back to where it deserves to be.
Well, looking forward to the challenge. It's a long-term process, but we're excited about where we're going.
Cheers, Doug.
Thanks, Murph.